Another day, another fishing mission. This time we're gonna be bank fishing, which I don't do too often anymore because I do own a boat, but as you all know, my health situation has not been stellar, so I take every opportunity I can to fish, even if it's from the shoreline. And we're gonna go to a local lake. It's a hand launch only place, and it's very close to the house, so it's convenient. I'm gonna try not to crash while I vlog here a little bit. I'm also driving manual, so that's kind of tough. It is very hot. Let me put the window down too. Probably 95 degrees right now. Should be at the lake in about 10 minutes, so I'll see you guys when we get there. I'm gonna be throwing a Senko and a Brush Hog. Hopefully we nab a big girl. Today you can call me 2 rods, 2 reels. Pew, pew. That's what we're working with. A medium that fishes more like a medium light. It's a 6-foot Berkley lightning rod. And then I'm using a medium power extra fast action 6/8 Bass Pro Shops extreme rod. The medium power has a Senko on a slider head, 3/8 ounce. And then I've also got a really small slider head, probably a 3/16 or lighter on the Berkley lightning rod. And this one has a finesse worm on it, green pumpkin. Keeping it natural. The beauty of the slider head is that it provides a more finesse and subtle action than a Texas rig would, and even more so than a shaky head. I think it gives you a lot more bites. So we're walking to our first spot now. This is a good area right here. Number 1, because we're not gonna get caught up in any trees over our head. Number 2, there's a very large piece of wood here that extends out pretty deep. This time we'll start out with the finesse, the slider. And this thing is pretty light, so we can kind of watch the line if it, there it is. Oh, that was a fish, 100%. So you gotta make sure you're watching your line. Oh, and he came off, of course, God. Pulled the trigger and missed. Okay, I just casted my worm off. That might be a sign. We're gonna switch up. We'll switch to the Senko. Same deal, just heavier, bigger presentation. This is a good way to test out when the fish want something bigger versus smaller. Just have the same exact rig, just 2 different weights, 2 different baits. 1 small profile, 1 large profile. Oh yeah, got way out there. We're throwing the Piscifun Honor 2000 again. Hopefully you all enjoyed that review. So I'll talk to you guys briefly about how I fish the slider head. There's a couple of ways. First way is sort of just like a Texas rig. I'll throw it out there. I watch my line first of all. I let it go all the way out, let it sink, and I'll watch for any ticks or pauses in the line. If it pauses early, you know you've got a hit, or if it rushes off, you know you've got a hit as well. And then once it hits the bottom, I'll just bring the rod from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock, kind of raise it up. Once it hits 12, I let it go back to slack line, and then repeat. That's the first way. The second way would just be dragging it. So it's out there, you've let it sink, and you just want to bring your rod from 9 o'clock directly over to 3 o'clock, just like that, just like a sweeping motion. A lot of times when you're popping that thing and they're not responding, if you switch up to a drag, that can really change their behavior, and they get into it real quick sometimes. It's pretty interesting. Don't know why. We all know how finicky fish can be. It's like me saying I don't want the burger unless it has cheese. How else can I equate that? It doesn't want the pop, it wants the drag. And then number 3 is obviously the dead stick. Just let that thing sit, let it sink, and let it sit, and just watch your line, and only pick it up once in a while. That can be effective at times. I find that that's the one technique I don't use very often just because I'm impatient. I want to be feeling the lure or the bait at all times. So right now I'm doing the Texas rig type deal and dragging it. All right, we're gonna switch up to a KVD Senko knockoff, the Perfect Plastics by Strike King. It's called the Ocho. Very soft plastic here. I haven't used these in a while. Today I'm using Seaguar Red Label 12-pound as my leader to the Piscifun 15-pound braid. Let's go fish a new area. Looks like a party over here. What's up, y'all? So I had a tick on me in a very unwanted place a couple weeks ago. Just a friendly reminder to all of you folks who fish from the shoreline, check yourself. Y'all know where it was too. All right, Senko, Ocho. It's so shallow all the way out here, so I'm just gonna wade it. Screw it. We got a little future fisherman over here. There you go. So he wanted the bigger profile. And he hit up really close too. One of my favorite presentations all year, really. There are bass schooling all over there. Yeah, we're gonna have to move and go catch those schoolers. They're too easy not to try. Right here, I don't know if you guys can see that from here. These are all fish. Now they're out there. You gotta just follow the school. There we go. I switched it up to the Brush Hog after I wasn't getting any hits on the Cinco or the trick worm. And this is the baby size, so it's finesse. It's smaller profile. He jammed it though. It's really cool being in the water catching these fish too. There we go. Come here. Another little chunk. That's how you fish the slider head. I was dead sticking it, and then I just dragged ever so slightly. Nothing better than that, guys, fishing a slider head, getting bit. It gets about 20 feet, you know, a good 25 yards out. So essentially just a flat where I'm standing. If I'm casting out to the deep edge and bringing it right in, that might be a fish because my line just stopped. Yep. Yep. Always watch your line, guys. Come here, big guy. And that slider head pinned him. So that's what you hope for. Ooh, okay. Number 4, on our way to a limit. I did not feel that fish at all. I just saw my line stop way too early, and I knew that was a sign I had something on the other end. God, man. Another schooling fish. They're just schooled up out there. They're not big, but they're just schooling up, and they are on fire right now. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh. They think they're a lot bigger than they are, that's for sure. Barely in there. That's number 6 or 7, I lost count. Whoa, there's some attitude today, man. It's all about the baby brush hog right now. Green pumpkin, real natural, not doing too much, just letting the slider head do the work. Most often you're gonna be throwing 8-pound tests with this, 8 to 10 depending, and the hookups are sweet. The fish. Angles are always important no matter what technique you fish, so always hit different angles. You know, I've been casting at this little way, this alleyway right here. Don't know what's special about it, but they seem to be grouped up there. And that might be a fish too. Yep. Yep. From the shoreline with light tackle, small presentations. You can do the same thing on your local lake. So get out there and try. And that was from a different angle. That was this way. Oh, there's one. That's a nicer one. Ooh, Jesus. They are some acrobatic dudes today. Very acrobatic dudes. Chunky. Such majestic creatures. Whew.